Hello, my name is Nancy Lorenza Green, and I would like to thank Mary Yanez for giving the Expressions of Life class an opportunity to present their work. Yes, I am the instructor for Expressions of Life, a course which Mary Yanez and I developed. And the purpose of the course is for students, older adults from the community, to come together to develop projects and participate in the class that focuses on their life histories, using music, using visual art, storytelling to document aspects of their life that continue to nurture them and fulfill their dreams. This afternoon, morning, we have a group of students from the Expressions of Life class who will be presenting uh, their written work. That is part of the class. We usually have a dialogue. We talk about our lives, our families, our friends, the work that we have done throughout the years. Most of the students in this semester's class are retired adults. And so the quality of work that is developed in this course speaks to so many wonderful experiences. One of the things that we focus on are the traditions, the legacy of our parents, our families, our ancestors, and the values, the remedios, the healing practices, the foods, the celebration. We care about community, ¿verdad? And we talk about how we have lived our lives. And so this program is going to focus on legacy. And we do a class publication, and the readings that you're going to listen to today will be included in this semester's publication. It's an exciting project, it's a class project, and we share our writings with all of the class members, of course, and with our relatives. It's a beautiful way, and it is part of our legacy. Some of the readers that will be included in this program include Dorian Klauser, who is a visual artist and is very active at the regional, state, and national level, recognized as a visual artist. Maria del Rosario Perez, who is a social worker, retired and activist in the disability community. As a person with a disability, Maria has demonstrated time and time again how important it is to cultivate our sacred nature can do its work. Concepcion Orueta, a retired educator, has been writing for many years, originally from Distrito Federal in Mexico. She has taught Spanish. She has also her master's in education, ¿verdad? Bilingual studies. And Concepcion contributes so much and helps the class uh, cultivate the Spanish language in a very unique way. Maria Elena Hernandez is also a retired educator, master's level, and has been very active in community, working with Head Start and in different programs. She helps us to understand how important it is to cultivate our child within, helps us to understand that process as well. Mary Yanez, as you know, the director of the senior adult program, who is also a, a social worker, a master's level social worker and educator, and an amazing leader in the community, is going to be reading some of her stories. She delighted us with her stories. When she joined the class, again, it let us know the level of quality that all of us in the class share. And Mary, again, as a Woman of the Year, ¿verdad? Recipient, ¿verdad? And also uh, many recognitions that she has received in the community uh, teaches us how to be humble, you know, in the midst of praise and admiration and recognition and respect. Ache.
Hello. My name is Dorian Clauser, and I thank Nancy Green for this class, Expressions of Life. I've really enjoyed being part of it and intend to continue. Legacy. If I had $1 million, who's to say I don't? What would my legacy be? Money? No. Worth is not determined by money. What is my worth? What do I leave behind? I hope it is the day-to-day interactions I have with people, family, friends, acquaintances. I hope it is the souls of animals awaiting reunion that have saved me. I hope it is a man true to me and I to him as a living testimony of relationship, bending and not breaking, growing and standing strong. My better half is not a song. He is my anchor and my star. I hope it is my art. It is a humble production of the experiences I have treasured with friends, plein air exploits and watercolor classes, pastel workshops, and a time to find my inner expression. Treasures in my life are not things. I have much, but it is not jewelry or collections. I have offered my being as bold as I can be, and it is my best effort repeated as a practice. Artifice is not my home. It is a plain spoken place. What you see is what you get, but it is still more. It is my heart. Do you know that? Legacy is not just what is left. It is a daily grind. As water wears the rock into a cradle for a pond, a sparrow drinks from unharmed. My prayer is that my efforts were enough. Have I given with a glad heart? Have I played square? Did I nurture those who were broken? Did I love enough? I know my heart has broken. I know my God is there. It is his hand that guides me, and I know not from where. I have labored all my life with a passion, sometimes failing. I have enthusiastically relished learning that has lifted my world and hopefully others. I have been loved bone deep, so I knew from where to emulate it. I have been given and I have tried to seed it forward. My legacy is not children, perhaps it's seeds incubating deep, waiting for that moment when another needs to feel belief of self enough to be what they might dream. My legacy is freedom to offer from one's heart. The artist in me sees another's worth, whose season is not yet upon the landscape. As a teacher, as a minister to others, I hope my legacy outlives me, and it is in this way I might be remembered. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Maria del Rosario Perez. I am one of the students, participants in the Senior Adult Programs Expressions of Life class. I'm going to be reading one of the many pieces that we've had an opportunity to write. It is titled Paths Lead Here. Ideas tumble through my head. How did I get here? Where was I going? What did I leave behind? Living day to day with no real purpose except to complete and to comply. Should I have written a game plan 50, 40, 30 years ago? Should I have made a list of goals and checked each off as I accomplished them. I have arrived at today. I am here today. I am here with a bit more wear and tear than I had those years back. I am here with much experience under my proverbial belt. Ironically, myself going in a different direction yet again. Is that what our journey is all about? Maneuvering through winding paths, deciding which path to take at a fork in the road, clinging to branches as I navigate through steep paths. Yet oddly enough, I have chosen all those paths. We all choose our paths. What we usually don't choose is who we come in contact with, who saw me or heard me. Thus, we leave a legacy behind in every path we take.
My name is Concepcion Orueta, and I'm going to share with you a piece I wrote about legacy. To write about legacy is not an easy task. It requires a profound analysis of who one is, what one has done throughout their lifetime, correctly or incorrectly, and even an evaluation of how we performed as a human being in the roles we played throughout our lifetime. In my case, my roles included as a woman, a mother, a teacher, and a friend. The easiest one to define at this moment in my life would be as a woman, for I have come to realize that it has boiled down to having loved and having been loved back. I do acknowledge, however, that Carl Jung was onto something when he theorized that every person has a light and a dark zone. However, for now, I will focus on the light zone. As a mother, my children have recently helped me define what my legacy means to them. My son mentioned that to him my legacy involves the sayings that he remembers me using throughout his lifetime. He finds himself repeating them a lot now that he's in his almost 40s, not just in the day-to-day life, but as a parent. This helped me realize that the legacy we leave for our children will be displayed in our thoughts, in our ways of doing things, in the way we express how much we care and love them. I also believe cooking is a wonderful way in which our legacy will be on, whether it be in memory or because our children will continue to cook some of our recipes at their homes, our delicious fruit cakes or home-cooked meals like caldito. My daughter told me that my legacy for her was how I care for education and hard work, as well as how much I help those in need. She also feels that I stress the importance of family, especially in how I wanted us to eat together at the table or celebrate the holidays or birthdays as a family. As a teacher, I shared with my students the passion I felt for teaching and the process of learning. In addition to that, I try my very best to instill in them the drive to put their best foot forward and to employ all of their energy into becoming the very best version of themselves. As a friend, well, that has been what I can describe as a very interesting role, for it takes a lot of practice, understanding, and acceptance. I strove to follow what a specific friend in my life asked me to do. Quote, "Do not try to understand or judge me. Just accept me for who I am. Finally, I can wrap this topic with Bertrand Russell saying, quote, "Three passions, simple but strong, have governed my life: the longing for love, the search for knowledge, and pity for the suffering of mankind." I empathize with these sayings for my legacy, as described by those in my life or through my own self-reflection. Has also shown me that three passions predominated throughout my life: writing, teaching, and caring for my fellow human being. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Maria Elena Hernandez, and these are my thoughts on legacy. The word legacy means you must think about your death, about not being there anymore with your loved ones, if you're blessed with loved ones. Family members, friends, acquaintances, and others who know you will live without you. It means thinking about leaving everything behind and deciding who to leave all your belongings to. You also think about who deserves or who needs what you own. Finally, legacy means there's someone who will remember you when you were alive on this earth. However, the word legacy does not mean leaving just monetary possessions or valuable belongings. I think about what my parents and grandparents left me. My parents left me with so many beautiful memories of while growing up. I realize now that I never really knew what my mom's hopes and dreams were when she was a young girl. She never finished school due to her illness and surgery. She did graduate from elementary at 16 and then decided to enter the workforce instead of going on to high school. She married at 21 years old and was a housewife and mother until she passed away at 88. Mom knew the value of an education, and she instilled this into her children. Her legacy for us was a good education and a strong faith in God. Dad left me with his good work ethic and strong independence in life. He worked as a custodian for the U.S. Post Office and received a commendation for many years of hard work. He was hardly absent and never had a conflict with his co-workers. His legacy was for all his children, daughters as well as his sons. Both my parents gave me their unconditional love and the gift of life filled with both joyful and painful experiences, which made me who I am. The stories they shared with me about my grandparents and great-grandparents taught me that family is the most valuable treasure one has in life. Their legacy was the love and care that a family has for each other. My legacy to my children and grandchildren is loads of money, not really, but more importantly, I bequeath them so much more. I will leave them my enduring, unconditional love, wonderful memories of playing games, reading stories, and just having plain fun together. I will give them my wisdom in life, to always be kind and honest to everyone, to value each other, and contribute to this beautiful earth. I want them to know that the love of family is the most essential part of life. I also will leave my writings about my childhood experiences and the stories I have written about life. Hopefully, my writings will be shared with future generations who will know who I was when I was alive. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mary Yanez, and I want to tell you a little bit about my life, some little valuable experiences, and as you get to know me as Mary Aguilar as a 10-year-old. It was an adventurous summer. Yes, it was 1953, as I recall. We had just moved from the Segundo Barrio to a home on Pershing Drive in the Five Points area. The neighborhood was filled with families living in individual homes. with front and backyards, blocks and blocks of homes. My adventure started as I scouted the neighborhood, introducing myself to any kids I met along the way. The way to where? The way to Memorial Park, just a few blocks away across the railroad tracks. Yes, I crossed the tracks to find a beautiful wonderland with grassy hills, flower gardens, and trees that could reach the sky. As I wandered, I found a gazebo where I stopped to pretend that I was a princess in my very own kingdom. And then I continued walking until I came to a large swimming pool with blue, glimmering water that spoke to me. Come closer, come to me. So it was so clean, clear, and inviting that I continued to admire it. I had never laid my eyes on such a beautiful pool. As I rounded the corner, I saw a line forming with adults and children, so I asked, "What is this line for?" A mommy said, "Swimming lessons. They start next week, and I'm signing up my kids, and you can register too." I got in line, and when I got to the front, the teller explained what I needed to do and handed me a registration and to come back soon because it closed in an hour. She handed me the form and required a parent's signature. I thought to myself, this is not possible. My parents are not home. They're working. This is tragic. I must do something. I can't let this opportunity pass me by. So I walked around the corner. I borrowed a pen and signed my mother's name, including her middle initial, the letter D. Back to the window I went after some minutes, almost out of breath because, as I explained to the teller, I had to run home. She reviewed the form and gave me the instructions to report to the pool at 9 in the morning on Monday with a towel and a bathing suit at hand. I returned home and had the weekend to figure out my secret adventure of swimming, of learning to swim. I had no swimsuit, but my older sister did, just a few sizes bigger. Not a problem, not my size, but who'd notice? So I put it in a towel. Monday morning came, and sure enough, the moment I hit that water, that swimsuit floated around me, and the kids all laughed. That didn't bother me a bit because I was focused on learning to swim. For the next 2 weeks, I disappeared like a cat in the bushes. And when graduation time came to receive my swimming training certificate, I felt proud. Mission accomplished. A week later, the sitter reported me to my parents. For many days, she could not find me. Every day for hours. Now I was really in trouble. Just as my mother was passing my punishment, I pulled out my swimming certificate, and that was my saving grace. My mother looked at the certificate and said proudly to my father, "Look, honey, Mary knows how to swim." My legacy is never give up when an opportunity comes. And leaving a little bit of my life and just little bits of my life, that's how my family will know my legacy.
That was wonderful. Each story unique from the heart, based on lives lived with dignity and self respect. Thank you. That was beautiful. Each and every one of you. Gracias. I'd like to share some of the work that I have written listening to the students during class is very inspirational. We get to talk about topics that are important in our lives. When reflecting about the conversation that we have during class, I am personally motivated, inspired to write. And I'd like to share a couple of pieces. One of them is called Solitude. You know, those moments when we are alone and our souls begin to speak to us in beautiful and wonderful ways. Solitude. All of my thoughts, desires, and aspirations fit into a neatly packed cardboard box, a coffin of hope to be discarded. Only I know its meaning. No one else can truly understand its contents. No one else has lived in these now comfortable shoes, nor I in theirs. Empty of regret, I meander through my mind, pick sordid memories to cleanse, greet a sunrise that once was. Soon I will see clearly again, release the pain of my survival, abandon thoughts that lead nowhere, welcome the rain of my emotions, breathe peace. Words from the elders. When you look in the mirror, smile at yourself, at that sacred human being that lives within you and travels your road in life, in your dreams. Treat yourself as you want others to treat you, with kindness, respect, dignity, and love. Don't forget to uplift your spirit when you're feeling lonely or lost or out of whack. Remember to act silly when others least expect it. Just smile and let the you inside the mirror smile back. Ache. Thank you very much for being with us in this amazing program. You've listened to voices of women in our community who live their lives with dignity and respect. And that is part of the legacy that they are leaving, and we are all leaving for future generations. Remember to register for the senior adult program classes. There's an array of, classes that you can join to uplift your spirit, continue to stay active and socialize and learn that lifelong learning experience that we all share. The registration date is December 6th for the next semester. Please call the Senior Adult Program Office at 915-831-7801 for additional information, and be on the lookout for some of the catalogs. Thank you, Mary Yanez. Thank you, Carol Attell. Thank you, Carol Martin, for sharing your wonderful talents and your skills, and for inviting community to be part of Mature Living. Ache.